Very good evening to you. I'm Lisa Broom with the CBC Evening News. In our top story tonight, Prime Minister Fundell Stewart says too many entrepreneurs are not paying national insurance contributions. His comments came during the scheme's 50th anniversary gala and GEM Awards at the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Centre. It's a problem he believes needs further analysis and urgent attention. The Prime Minister says approximately 3,500 people are currently registered as self-employed under the NIS, which, according to statistics, is short of almost 17,000 people. He's therefore pleading with Barbadians to put themselves in a position to access the necessary benefits.
As the Roman poet Ovid reminds us, presently, bent old age will come with silent foot. They should therefore take full advantage of opportunities that now exist for them to avoid having to struggle financially to enjoy their sunset years. I am aware that several self-employed persons and many in the informal sector operate on a seasonal basis, but this is simply no excuse for non-payment since the threshold for payment is low.
Mr. Stewart admits that his message is not a new one. However, he says an alarming number of locals continue to experience declining standards of living after retirement. And according to him, stiffer laws are needed to prevent this from happening.
June has produced only modest results in this regard. I hold the view, therefore, given how high the stakes are, and for the protection of the self-employed themselves, that a legislative intervention may now be necessary.
If government is to weed out all non-contributors to the national insurance scheme, there needs to be more compliance officers at that entity. That's the observation of retired senior clerk Stephen Strickland. His comments came as he delivered the weekly Astor B. Watts lecture.
There's one inspector who covers the whole of St. Lucie and part of St. Peter. So you can imagine the number of private businesses, small businesses in St. Lucie and part of St. Peter, and there are those who cover certain parishes and part of Bridgetown. The officer that not only is looking for those who are delinquent in paying contributions, but the officer also has to be dealing with cases such as employment injury reports which are not returned, unemployment forms which were not given to the employees, along with a lot of other cases. So therefore, national insurance needs to have a compliance section which is able to meet the needs of the present situations that we are dealing with.
Mr. Strickland also stressed the national insurance should conduct more training sessions targeting school children.
I believe that national insurance need to be doing training when you have career showcases. I believe that national insurance need to be doing training when you have things like BMX and whatever else. Facilitating training for employers, because when I do training, I volunteer to do training at workplaces. It is amazing that some of the personnel section of the particular institution, whether it's government or private, is not aware of a lot of things about national insurance. So national insurance going forward for the next 50 years, I believe it's an even greater challenge. But with training, a lot can be achieved for the development of our country.
With faith in a higher power, the Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association is looking to overcome all of its future challenges. This from Chairman of the Association, Roseanne Myers. Speaking at a church service marking the organization's 65th anniversary, Ms. Myers says the entity needs to be inspired by more than just profit.
But as Reverend Gillian said, we have to lead and we have to make our contributions to tourism inspired by a higher power than just money and just profit and just trying to make our way day by day. We are inspired to do the best that we can with honesty and integrity. That is why we are here today in church, to spend a moment after 65 years to recommit ourselves not to the mighty dollar, but to the real reason we all work and live. It is to really make a contribution outside of ourselves and outside of our companies.
She says over the BHTA's 65 years, several people have sacrificed their time to help develop the industry.
We will be on Wednesday paying tribute to some of those persons. Some of those are here among us. Mr. and Mrs. Ramsey have left. They've been in the industry for about 50 years as one of our persons that we're celebrating. And there are a number of persons that we will be doing so. Richard Stout, we are honoring Mr. Stout. For many, many years, there isn't an entertainer in the tourism sector who Mr. Stout has not brought up through the ranks and taught them as much as he knows.
Painters contracted to design a mural next to the proposed Hyatt site in Bay Street are just some of the local artists expected to benefit from its construction. Director of Vision Development James Edgell says as many as 400 people could be employed during construction, which could see overseas investors pumping some $70 million of foreign exchange into the country. Mr. Edgell believes once the hotel is up and running, locals and entrepreneurs will reap the rewards from having hundreds of tourists on their doorsteps.
The Hilton and Radisson Hotel are in Carlisle Bay, but they're not in Bridgetown. I bet very few people from there venture into Bridgetown at night, whereas if you have 400 people here in Bridgetown, there's going to be a lot of opportunity for small entrepreneurs to really take advantage of that. So I think there's opportunities for everybody across a whole range of different areas.
Members of the public attending a meeting with Hyatt developers watched as two painters began working on the colorful mural meant to beautify the public access area of the hotel. Developers also plan to move the old police station arc several feet so that it sits above the public entrance. Mr. Edgell's co-director of Vision Development, Mark Maloney, says the hotel will engage local artists and musicians to give guests the full Barbadian experience.
All those local artists will be able to display their talent here, and also the various artists that have the ability and want to display their talent in arts and crafts in the hotel and various other things that will help their businesses and to help the industry. We do believe that the industry can do with a big influx of more of the cultural side of the island, and we plan on embracing that.
Well, there's more news in just a moment, so stay with us.
Hello friends, this is Jeff Shepard inviting you to join us every Thursday from 6 to 7 on QFM for Nichols Bacon Inc. Manor. Always fresh.
The People's Business gets to the heart of the matter every Sunday at 8:05 p.m. Call us live at 228-5562 or 228-5563 or email us at talk@cbc.bb to share your questions or comments and to be part of the live discussion. That's The People's Business, Sundays at 8:05 p.m. on CBC TV8. The People's Business is made possible by our partners, Solar Dynamics, the most efficient energy systems.
The Mount Gay 94.7 FM Come Line with We promotion continues this weekend. All the back in time and old school vibes you just love to hear on 94.7 FM. Enjoy the karaoke sessions, good food, and of course, share Mount Gay with a friend. You could be the lucky person to unlock the Mount Gay treasure chest and take away over $1,000 in cash and prizes. Look out for 94.7 FM at a shop or bar near you this and every Saturday until August. So come, line with me this Saturday night from 7 p.m. until midnight. Tune in to 94.7 FM or visit the Facebook page at CBC 94.7 FM for weekly venues.
Hundreds of residents and businesses in parts of St. Michael and Christchurch were affected by a burst main in the area of the Pine this afternoon. According to the Barbados Water Authority's Manager of Communications and the Rapid Response Unit, Joyanne Haig, there was a ruptured 15-inch main along the Pine Boulevard. She says although there would be delays in restoring water to the affected areas, water tankers and work crews have been dispatched to the affected areas. Well, 3 young men now hold the title of top primary school chefs in St. John. This after they were named winners in the inaugural Errol Barrow Cooking Challenge. Sharika Griffith has more.
Mount Tabor, St. John and St. Margaret's primary schools sent their 3 best chefs to represent them in the first Errol Barrow Cooking Challenge. Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Senator Harcourt Husbands, encouraged the children to seize opportunities to participate in activities like the competition, as they could form the basis of their future careers.
This is not one of the things that is on the curriculum in your school that you are supposed to do, but this could very well turn out to be, for you sitting here in front of me, an important development in your life. There are tremendous careers and lots of money to be made in the area of cooking. This is an honorable profession, and I want you to understand that and appreciate it.
The cook-off is a continuation of events to mark 30 years since the passing of the Right Excellent Errol Barrow. So the little ones were tasked with preparing a chicken stew recipe from the cookbook Mr. Barrow co-authored. In the end, the St. Margaret's trio of Renako Haynes, Thierry Bailey and Remarco Phillips won the judges over with their scalloped breadfruit and Caribbean chicken stew. Principal Glendine Hayes says the boys' cooking skills vastly improved over the 4 weeks they spent preparing.
The boys did not even know how to peel a cucumber, far less, but they were really interested. So cooking then became very easy for them. The hardest thing was to remember the recipes. They would remember that we need to put in this and that, but when to put it in was a little bit challenging for them.
Second place went to the team from Mount Tabor Primary, who paired their chicken stew with herbal green banana cuckoo infused with turmeric. And while St. John's Primary took home the bronze with their candied sweet potato and chicken stew. What did the students think of the competition?
I don't cook at home, not allowed to use the stove, but at school we practiced a little bit, and today I was a little bit nervous, but then it was fine.
Oh yeah, because I'm helping my mommy in the kitchen, and I really like the dish that I made today.
Which was?
Which was the green banana and chicken gravy.
I really lazy to play how I made it, and I wasn't expecting to become a third, but I still learned from Mr. Peter, and I really got to get together with my schoolmates to really push.
The competition took place at the Lodge School. Sharika Griffith, CBC News.
Well, thanks very much, Sharika. All of those dishes looked very, very yummy. Well, up next, Anne-Marie Burke and the sports news. Stay with us.